As soon as fish feed is thrown into the tanks, the fish immediately surface to eat it. In these rearing tanks of the Nigerian Institute of Oceanography and Marine Research, catfish farming and processing are extremely important activities that contribute to research. Actually, the engineering workshop of this public institution has developed a modern smoking kiln, which is very popular among users. The smoking kiln is a concrete result of the project entitled Development of Cost-Effective Technology for Fish Smoking and Drying, supported by WAP, the West Africa Agricultural Productivity Program.
These are among the team members that started the project, as I said, and we also have our technicians in the workshop that started with the design and the fabrication of the equipment in line with the approval of WAP. We developed the proposal, and according to that specification, we developed the equipment. Essentially, the equipment is meant for smoking and drying of fish, any type of fish. But because of the aquacultural development and the focus of Nigerian farmers, most people at present in Nigeria, the most cultured fish species in Nigeria is catfish. The equipment is capable of smoke drying any type of fish.
The smoking kiln is primarily the result of work carried out by a team of professionals under the leadership of Dr. Akonde, the Executive Director of the Nigerian Institute of Oceanography and Marine Research. The kiln has become a much appreciated tool among fish processors who are actively involved in fish smoking and drying in Nigeria or in other West African countries.
I would like to differentiate between two types of smoking. We have cold smoking and we have hot smoking. In Nigeria, essentially, the major practice in Nigeria is hot smoking. That is, we smoke and then get the fish dried at the same time. The fish is cooked, smoked, and dried. So when I'm saying smoking, please understand that I'm talking of smoke drying, because that is what is majorly practiced in Nigeria.
After providing this precision, engineer Remy Adeyemi will now present the fish smoking device designed by his team.
It has up to 6 component parts and 4 major chambers, different chambers. The component parts are, you have the smoking chamber, this is the smoking chamber. You have the fish trays, where the fish are placed. You have them here. And you have this tray for oil collection. And you have inside the fan that circulates the warm air and the smoke for uniform distribution of heat inside the chamber. We have the temperature gauge, called the thermometer. It will indicate the operating temperature inside the smoking chamber, so it will enable the processor to control the process conditions, the temperature.
Thanks to the hood and the chimney atop, the kiln offers a number of advantages. These built-in parts enable rapid evacuation of moisture emanating from the oven during the smoking process. According to the engineer, the mechanism also enables faster and more efficient drying.
Below the chamber, you have this compartment. This compartment is the finished product compartment, stroke oil collection compartment. At the rear end of the kiln, you have the combustion or energy source. And this one is positioned right below the smoking chamber. And it is interesting to note that this one, the source of heat, is not directly positioned under the fish trays. The fan assists in the distribution of the hot air that's generated from the combustion chamber into that place.
The device, designed by scientists of the engineering workshop at the Nigerian Institute of Oceanography and Marine Research, is also equipped with a damper used to filter the smoke. It also serves for oil collection so that only the flavor contents go up.
There is something we call the damper. It filters the smoke. With the introduction of this damper, the soot are filtered. It's only the flavor compounds that are going, and then you reduce that heavy deposition. You are able to control that deposition, thereby managing within limits the content of polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbon in the product, in addition to the source of your energy. This one is this basket for charcoal. The equipment can use charcoal, can use briquettes, can use firewood, approved ones. But here we emphasize the use of charcoal for the reason that with charcoal you have less content of polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbon.
The smoking kiln is also equipped with a vent that helps maintain combustion, because without oxygen there is no combustion. The equipment is designed to retain heat. According to the designers of the kiln, heat retention mechanism is one of the major advantages of this technology. By succeeding to retain heat in the oven, the technicians of the Neomar have solved the major problem fish processors are often confronted with.
It's a strong factor in minimizing or reducing the smoking time to between 6 and 8 hours, compared with traditional smoking that takes 3 days, 4 days. And because of the enclosure, the hygiene is improved. The same for the oil collection. The oil is collected inside the equipment, thereby make it hygienical collection.
The smoking kiln of the Neomar can be used anywhere. In fact, the prototype is equipped with a solar panel that powers the ventilation system. This mechanism enables to weather potential electricity outages facing Nigeria and other West African countries. The solar panel is connected to a battery. By integrating this device, the researchers have made it possible for the users of the kiln to operate it on any fish landing site because it does not run on public power supply. In addition, the device can be easily dismantled and carried to another setting. Regarding the processing of catfish, it is important to point out that the process is subject to specific rules. Catfish is first harvested from the farm at the Nigerian Institute of Oceanography and Marine Research. Then processors need a number of tools before starting the processing, including, among other things, an outfit, a knife, scales, water and salt, which is used to tranquilize the catfish, which are freshwater species. Introducing salt helps inactivate the fish a few minutes before bleeding. This last step should also be conducted in perfect hygiene conditions.
Another thing is, catfish is slimy. It has slime, you cannot touch it. You touch it, it's slippery. So there is something you need to remove the slime. When the fish is dead, the slime becomes source of contamination. The microorganisms feed on the slime, and then the fish gets spoiled easily. When the fish is alive, the slime acts as protective substance for microbial attack. But as soon as the fish is dead, it becomes source of nutrients for microorganisms, and this aids spoilage faster. So it is necessary, after you have inactivated the fish, to deslime. That is, you remove the slime. That is desliming. Now, there are different ways of tranquilizing. One way is to use salt, because catfish is a freshwater fish. introducing salt makes it inconvenient, gets inactivated, almost dead. Of course, in practice, commercially, people use electrocution. They pass electric current inside the pond. All the fish will die, and then they will harvest. That's for commercial application. Another way of tranquilizing is to break the neck. It will be demonstrating each of these methods. But that's the first stage, so as to enable handling of the fish for subsequent operations. Can we see? That's it. So when that is done, the fish becomes less active. The other form, majorly, which is advised for small-scale processors that will be handling much more than 20, 40, 50 kg at a time, is to use salt. Can we see? It is necessary. It is necessary to follow the procedure. The fish there, and then you pour it. If you do it other way, they will all jump out. Okay? Cover this thing. If it's the other way around, they will jump and you won't be able to control them.
After this step, processors quickly eviscerate the fish. This phase is important because it helps preserve the quality of the fish and prevent it from being affected by microorganisms.
The essence of removing all those things is because they are the source of microorganisms. Majority of the microorganisms resides inside the gut. If you don't remove, your fish gets spoiled faster. When you remove the intestine and the gut, you have removed the major microbial load that can attack your fish at the end of the day. And that is manual scrubbing, manual removal. You can see the water, it was clean before putting it, and during washing and cleaning, this one is done severally to ensure that the slimes are gone. You can see the water becoming cloudier. That's as a result of the slime that's being removed from the fish. So the next stage after desliming is gutting, bleeding and gutting. It's doing the two at the same time. That's removal of the intestine. This gutting process is critical because it has direct effect on shelf life of the dried product. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. To remove the blood and other adhering dirt or the remaining slime, so you can see now from here, from this stage, you shape. Shaping means for faster drying, because the fish is small and customary to our, do I call it culture or presentation in this part of Africa, is folded. So we will demonstrate how it is done here. For large fish, you can reduce into chunks by cutting the fish. The size reduction enhances smoke penetration as well as faster drying.
After the cleaning and shaping, the fish are placed directly on the grill before they are put into the kiln. There begins the smoking process, which can last between 3 to 6 hours. The end result is a smoke-dried fish, which is very popular in Nigeria and many other West African countries.
We have 3 types of fish. There are the ones of bigger size and there are the ones of smaller size. We process based on the needs of the customers. And most of our products, the people that engage in buying them, they are people that have hotels, big hotels, not all this roadside restaurant. Because like this carton you are seeing is 75,000. It's a very lucrative business.
The improvement of fish smoking technology opens new avenues for the expansion of smoke or dried fish business. Regional and international markets are now within the reach of fish processors.
We have customers, good customers, because what we do here, sometimes we even work up to 14 tons a week. And we have customers for our market. We don't look for market. Market is there. We work according to the level, the demands from the market. I'm a graduate from University of Abuja, and I find myself doing this. I'm not regret of doing this, because there are most of my mates that looks for government job up till now. They are still on the street looking for job. I'm not looking for a job.
Many people in Nigeria and coastal West African countries are operating in fish processing. Thanks to the IDB, the Islamic Development Bank, through the WAP, the West Africa Agricultural Productivity Program of the Corps of WECART, West and Central African Council for Agricultural Research and Development, the Nigerian Institute of Oceanography and Marine Research has been able to develop this modern fish smoking kiln. The large-scale extension of this technology will definitely facilitate the work of the women and the young people involved in fish processing.
They should not base their knowledge on what they study in school. There are greater things they can achieve. Working will not give you those benefits. It's we engage in, especially fish processing. It's even more lucrative than the fish farming. So it's a very good business. I've achieved to some extent in life, because from this processing, I have about 28 ponds now that eats minimum of 4 tons a week. And from this work, I've built a house from it. From this work, my younger one is in university. Relatives benefit from it. There are some things I cannot even measure.